This Webdvar is dedicated in the Zchus of Refuah Shalema to my dear colleague and friend, Rabbi Shlomo Krupka, Shlomo Yitzchak ben Elka. He should have a Refuah Shalema, and I hope that soon that the Refuah Shalema will lead to his being able to watch this Webdvar that is in his honor. Last week's parsha, of course, the Torah, Kodesh Baruch Hu gave the Aseres HaDibros, gave the Torah to Klal Yisrael. In this week's parsha, Hashem says to Moshe, "Ve'ele hamishpatim asher tasim lifneihem," and here are all of the laws, here are the mitzvahs that I'm placing before him that you should, Moshe, you should teach before them, you should explain to the Jewish people. And among these many mitzvahs is the mitzvah of Bikkurim. Bikkurim is the mitzvah that the first fruits that a person has should be brought to the Beis HaMikdash and offered to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now, nowadays, we no longer have a Beis HaMikdash, and so Rabbi Simcha Bonami Pshischa Zecher Tzadik El Racha was asked, how do we possibly fulfill the mitzvah of Bikurim nowadays after the Churban Beis HaMikdash? Every mitzvah we should be able to fulfill somehow, in some way, in some fashion. Is there a way for us to fulfill the mitzvah of Bikurim? And so Rabbi Simcha Bonim answered and says there absolutely is. Reishis Bikuri Ad Mascha, the first of your Bikurim, the first of your fruits. And he says it's not about a long period of time, rather it's a daily chore, a daily task. When a person wakes up in the morning, what is their Reishis Bikurim? What is the first fruit of their labor of the day? What is their first thought? What is the first thing that we think of when we get up in the morning? Where's my cup of coffee? Or I need to check the internet, I need to check what happened overnight, or I need to make sure that I get out to a meeting or check my email. Or what's our first thought when we wake up? So the first of our effort, the first of our mindset, the first fruits of our work each day should be, he explains, Reishis Bikuri Ad Mascha Tavi Beis Hashem Elokecha, should be about HaKadosh Baruch Hu to each of us on our own personal level. To some people it means getting up, getting dressed, being out the door and being in minyan, being one of the first 10 people davening in the morning. To other people it means, before doing anything else, making sure that they daven in the morning. For others it might mean sitting and making sure that they say Tehillim in the morning. But most important, says Rav Simcha Bonim, that the way in which we fulfill the mitzvah of Bikurim is making sure that our first efforts, the first vigor, the energy that we have is spent on focusing on HaKadosh Baruch Hu, on God, and all of the Hakara Satov, all of the important recognition of the good that we have to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the mere fact that we were able to wake up in the morning, the mere fact that we're able to move our bodies in the morning, we're able to get out of bed, that we're able to walk to wherever it is that we need to go, even within our own homes, we're able to move our limbs after we've been sleeping for so long. That's the hakara, the recognition of thanks to Hashem, that the first effort and energy that we spend of the day should be in praising Him and saying, Modeh Ani, thank you Hashem, for allowing me to rise in the morning and be just as I was when I went to sleep the night before. Too often in life we take things for granted, and this is one of those things that we take for granted. Our ability to wake up in the morning and be the same person we were yesterday, to be a person who can bring forth fruit, who can produce, and that, the production of our fruit, the very beginning of our day, the first energy that we have, the desire to accomplish, should first be focused on recognizing HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and then carrying on with our day, to each of us on our own levels. Whether it means us learning in the morning, whether it means davening in the morning, whether it means simply saying Tehillim, or preparing ourselves to daven. Kodesh Baruch Hu, God, should come first. That, Reb Simcha Bonim Pshischa says, is the fulfillment of the mitzvah of Bikurim, the fulfillment of the mitzvah of bringing one's first fruits in the times of Beis HaMikdash, in our time today. May we be all zochem, may we merit to every day have HaKadosh Baruch Hu in our mind first and foremost when we wake up in the morning. Thank you for listening and have a good Shabbos.